Let's go to equal 3,195. Find the minimal area to cover all ones. And for this question, it gives us grid. It has 1 and 0 for the grid, and ask us find the minimal area of rectangle which can cover all ones. So what we think about is that we iterate the grid and find actually we want to find for the lowest x, right? And which is the lowest row which have 1, and the largest row which have 1, right? And also lowest column which have 1, and the largest column which has 1, right? So after then our rectangle will be, for example, that we have R1, R2, and C1, C2, right? Then our lowest column, our width is C2 minus C1 plus 1, right? And the height is R2 minus R1 plus 1, right? Then we get the area, right? And the data range, we don't need to worry about long or those kind of things, right? So let's begin to write code for this. And int m equals grid dot length n equals grid 0 dot length, right? So we're going to have let's have R1, right? Int R1. The maximum can be, because we are trying, R1 is our lowest, right? So we can have it set as m minus 1, right? M, right? At least M. And because we are trying to find its minimum, right? So R2, let's set it as minus 1 first, right? Because we want to find the maximum row, right? And it's column 1, let's set as n, and column 2 says minus 1, right? So we know R1 is the lowest row, right? So what we do is that for int I equals 0, I smaller than m, I plus plus, and for int j equals 0, j smaller than n, j plus plus, right? So you say that the input is there is at least one in the grid, so we don't need to worry about if that is empty, right? So we'll always have a result. So we'll say R1 equals mass dot min R1. If this one is 1, right, we can do that equal grid I j equals 1. Then we'll have R1 equals mass dot min R1 I, right? And R2 equals mass dot max R2 I. C1 equals mass dot min C1 J, and C2 equals mass dot max C2 J. And in the end, we just return the height multiplied by weights, right? So that is R2 minus R1 plus 1 multiplied by C2 minus C1 plus 1. In the time complexity will be OM multiplied by N. Python code is similar. We'll have M N equals length grid and length grid 0, right? And we're going to have R1, R2, C1, C2 equals M minus 1 N minus 1, right? So what do we do is for I in range M, for J in range N. If grid I J equals 1, then we're going to have R1 equals mean R1 I. R2 equals max R2 I. And C1 equals mean C1 J. C2 equals max C2 J. And in the end, we just return, right? Return R2 minus R1 plus 1 multiplied by C2 minus C1 plus 1.